Whenever we have graduation, I get to shake the hands of those people, those students who walk across the stage, who some people say don't matter because they didn't start with us as a first-time full-time student. They matter to me. Actually, I'm kind of glad they bring it to the forefront because it gives us an opportunity to talk about it and then talk about metrics and how do we measure accountability of community colleges and of colleges and universities in general. And when you take a look at one metric, and that metric being graduation rates, it's an antiquated metric that really doesn't tell the story. I mean, the metric was designed to evaluate how athletes do at universities. And how they persisted at university. They were never designed to measure the numbers of graduates or how effective or efficient colleges and universities are. What you're doing is you're ignoring 95% of the student body and saying it's not important what they did. And we believe it is. And so we believe, and we've started the campaign at ACC, students count. All of our students count in what they do. So there are numerous metrics, and we're not afraid of accountability. We want to be held accountable, but we want to make sure that the metrics are appropriate metrics to measure the success of our students. You look at all of those various missions of the community college, and they're all important. They're all very important to the productivity and to the business and to workforce. And community development as a whole, but we don't value them because we say we want to use this one metric called graduation rate. Well, that's not what a lot of students want out of Austin Community College. They want skills to be employed. You know, they want some hours to transfer. They want to be able to take college credit hours during the summer when they're not attending the university. So they want to take dual credit in high school. You know, they want to go through an early college high school experience. And all of these different needs come into play, and we have to understand what those needs are, and we have to value the improvement, the success that we make as a result of fulfilling those different individual parts of our mission. The policy issue within the state is to say, do we as a state value associate degrees or certificates at community colleges? And if we value that, then we ought to have state policy that encourages students and rewards students to complete what they start at a community college. And we don't have that policy in the state of Texas like they do in the state of Florida, like they're doing in the state of North Carolina, where there are some rewards or incentives that go along with completing what you start at a community college. So the incentives are automatic admission to the four-year university, guaranteed transferability on a statewide basis of all of your 60 college credit hours, guaranteed so that it's not institution to institution. What I like is something that the state of Washington adopted with some funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's called Momentum Points. And it looks at the progress of a student from where they enter the community college and what their skill level was, and how we help to progress them from one level to the next, and to reward and to recognize, to celebrate and reward for each one of those benchmark points. So we start with that student who I mentioned comes to us, they dropped out of high school. So a benchmark is when they actually get the GED. We should recognize that, celebrate that. Or a student that comes to us and they need English as a second language. when they complete the requirements of ESL program, we should recognize that, celebrate that as a momentum point in their progression. Because it's not what's best for the state of Texas, it's not what's best for Austin, the community, because you know our students, our citizens deserve the opportunity. And if we don't serve them, who is? And if, you know, I hate to make this comparison, but if you want to see what happens to a population where education is not supported, and you end up with two very distinct and different classes of citizens, you can look at where I came from and go right across the border to Juarez, Mexico, and you'll see the violence that occurs when a population is not educated and where it does not see hope. And what education does is it provides hope.